Okay, so I think this is it, because Peter and Louise are not coming tonight, but I couldn't secure the other date for sure on the calendar, so I went with this one because this was the one we got. Is there any public speak? I think, Tracy, you might have some. Okay. Is Tracy still here? Come on. There you are. Tracy, do you have any? We can't hear you. There you are.
Okay. I was just going to say that I am stepping off. I have a number of upcoming obligations that are going to conflict with things.
But your term is ending.
My term is ending.
Right? Your 3-year term is ending.
So I did not renew. So.
Right. So we can renew for one more term. You can do 2 consecutive terms, but Tracy will not be re-upping for her. But you did complete 3 years, and so thank you so very much for your service. Thank you very, very much.
Well, I really wanted to have this meeting happen so that I could be here to, help you guys make good and wise choices.
We appreciate your time very much. Thank you. Is there any other public speak? Okay, so we could wait to review our minutes in the interest of time if we'd like. Would we like to review our minutes now? Are we reviewing minutes? Is it on our agenda?
It's not on the agenda, but I think the August minutes were reviewed in September, but I wasn't at September. So if that was all okay, then we would go with that. And then there's the meeting that Tracy took notes for, and then last meeting.
I understand. So let's push that off so we can, in the interest of time, since it's not on the agenda. Is that acceptable?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not on our agenda, so I think that's good because we have plenty to look at. And then let me take a quick peek. Here we go. So have we had any grantee liaison contact? No, I don't have any either for our previous. I'm going to take a quick peek at our email. Open that. And then we can get right to the meat and potatoes of our meeting. No, we're good. Okay, so does everyone have, looking at them in the same order, like I downloaded the spreadsheet, so number 1 for me is Andrew Harms. Do we all have that order? Yes. I have number 1 as Andrew Harms and number 34 as Resilient Community Arts.
That's how it appears to me on the MCC website.
Great. I just want to make sure we're all looking at the same view. So in the interest of time.
Okay. So that's different from what I have as the panel book, but on the website, yes. So we're just going to go with the website, right?
So yeah, here's the thing. On the website, you're able to download the spreadsheet view from that, which makes it easier, I think, for me.
Okay.
To you all. Should we just start with number 1? Is that okay with Andrew Harms?
Sure.
Okay. It looks good. He looks like he does this everywhere and anywhere, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Does he have a venue in Easthampton, or he just says
Well,
Easthampton?
so what he says is because of COVID, it could be changing.
Right.
That's basically, so because he has a supplemental rider, which I actually looked at already, in additional materials, and the venue rider, and basically what it says is, due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, this project was deliberately crafted for its flexibility in date, venue availability, and venue suitability remain and must remain flexible, and will ensure the viability of this project. A firm date and venue at the time of this application would harm the viability of the project. In general, churches, businesses, and schools are willing to rent out their spaces. Therefore, venues will be appropriately evaluated and reevaluated for suitability using the criteria outlined below. So no, there's no venue. So I guess, and this is going to be an ongoing thing, there are people who have firm venues and firm commitments. So I guess we need to see, I mean, he lives in Waltham. He's done this before.
With us?
No.
So my sort of question is, can we lump all the music people together and then see which is the stronger music choices to give finances to? I don't know what a good process to, if we go one by one, we're going to have a different feeling when we start with number 1 than we do 34. I don't know.
You're right. You're not wrong. We've done other things. We've also gone through the ones that we get every year and just taken them, Sorry, Tracy.
I was going to say, we worked really hard just to say, please do public art. That,
We don't have any. So you want to take an initial vote? Because we didn't get any submissions really for public art.
No.
Tracy,
So
please. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
well, no, and I get that. It's frustrating because remember how much time we put into how we could craft this to say, please do things outside?
Yeah, I know. So, well, I have good news. What we can vote on is if we want to set aside our 15% to do public art outside for our council program. That we could vote on first.
I make a motion that we vote to set aside 15% of our budget for in-house use for a mural or other public art type project we so choose.
All in favor?
Was somebody second it?
I'll second it.
Second, okay.
Yes.
And then we vote?
All in favor?
Okay.
Very good. So now we'll go, we have.
We'll know how much budget is.
Yes.
So could somebody remind me the amount of the budget?
Yes, I'm going to remind you the amount of the budget right now. Bear with me for 30 seconds. I'm sorry, this is all over the place. Oh. Okay. Hang on. Shoot. My thing won't open. I'm having issue with my Did we write down how much money we had in our last minutes? Sean, to grant? I know we talked about it at the last meeting.
Let me check. No, we didn't.
I know I've heard the number floated around.
You have, we talked about it, and
Yeah.
I am, and the way that they now have the annual report set up, I'm having issue opening it. Hang on, let's see if this will do it. Oh, there we go. Hang on. We got it. So what we are granting is 15,504.
Is that minus 15%?
No, I believe, no, because it's going to be 15% of 13.8. I'm sorry. 13.8 is what we were given by the state. And so it's 15% of 13.8. So it's 1380 plus 690. 7, I'm doing math. 2,070. So 15,504 minus 2,070 for 13,434. All right. So we're granting $13,434, and we will set aside $2,070 for our council program.
And the 15,000 that you had spoken earlier, that's because we had some
Rollover funds. Yeah. We have people who didn't use grant money, like Helena Sullivan, who had decided not to do her project, things that didn't happen. So we will do 13,434. Thank you for bearing with me on that. And I'm happy, we usually go over them on a case-by-case basis.
Well, I think I'll make a suggestion, and we're going to go back to the case-by-case scenario. Did anybody else write down what they thought amounts they should give to other people? Or no? You just all sort of read them? Okay.
Yeah.
So, like I eliminated someone who wanted $5,000, and it sounded like it was just for rent, some sort of maintenance.
Yes.
Jason Montgomery also had done the same thing. So if I was just thinking, if we, instead of going by a case-by-case basis, if there was any one of those that you felt strongly no, because it was an online event, because it was not Easthampton, because it didn't apply for what we're doing, we just knock those out first.
Okay.
And that way then we could say, like, okay, we eliminated that. Our new asks is based on the demand, the request is down to $20,000. Okay, out of that $20,000, then we can make decisions, is kind of what I was thinking.
I understand. So we could also first go through the ones we get every year that aren't applicable to us. So
Well, how about we just read the name of the first one and a little bit of and just go real quick up or down, whether or not it's some of them are just so automatic no's.
Right.
Well,
So
But there also are in that list of, there are some that was public art, that the Scarecrow contest
Yep.
was absolutely what we were looking for.
Right.
there you go. Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but that's the thing. It's like there's so many of them we could just eliminate, and then we don't have to go line by line. We just be sort of like,
That's fine. That's fine. I see ones to eliminate right away that I see every year come in.
Yep.
Like number 11, 7 R's concert.
like but no real plan is what I wrote. So that was a no for me. That it's just you know what I mean?
Well,
For us, sorry?
I was gonna say Close Cummington is in Cummington.
Yeah.
It's community benefit. Because it's not really applicable to us.
There's no Jewish people in Easthampton?
No, it's not that. Usually we try to keep it more things in Easthampton.
Yeah.
That's all. It
Okay.
had nothing to do with that at all.
The klezmer part, just the Cummington part. All right.
No, that we love the klezmer's great, and we can reconsider it. I'm saying that's been. I'm happy to keep looking at it. Let's forget what I said. I'm just going by things in the past that we've seen come our way, like every single grant round.
But I guess if people didn't write them down, then we don't know quick enough. We'll just go line by line. There's a lot of music. There's a lot of music. That's the hard thing to say.
I mean,
Chris,
it sounds like Rachel and Casey have ideas of people who we could knock off easily. So if you guys had wanted to just throw a few names out, we could vote them no if we all agree, and
Well, we
then
can also
have a
do-
much smaller list.
we can also do that line by line. We'll just be quick to say no to them. I guess that's
Okay.
Yeah. So sorry, Rachel. Back to line by line.
No, it's fine either way. So I will say this. The one thing is we're going to see, as this first application shows, that they're, saying because of COVID, we have not secured any venues. And it's understandable, but in years past, we would not entertain that. So,
In a way, I wrote down a small amount, right? Looks like he has money
Right.
coming from other places. And it sounds like he's someone who will potentially actually pull off something fairly good. I think did he mention Park Hill Orchard? There was many good events there this past summer. So I kind of like this idea a little bit. And anyone that falls into that sort of category of a good venue, I kind of like the idea. It doesn't matter who it is, whether or not it's comedy or whether or not it's music, as long as it's a public art that's people are going to attend.
hi.
Hi.
Oh, good. You're back. Everything's frozen for me. I'm sorry. My only trouble is his budget. The total expenses are $600, and he's asking us for $600.
600.
I can't hear anybody.
It's a tour, so that makes sense. But I guess the budget is just he filled it out not exactly correctly. And he's asking for $600. I mean, it makes sense. He's qualified to do it, and if he can do it outside, that would be terrific in a warmer month or in a month when it's, feasible to do that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so if he can do this outside in a month that it's feasible and to do it outside, that would be desirable, and perhaps we make it contingent upon that. We say we fund it to this level, but we'd like to see it outside, as like at Park Hill Orchard, if that's where they're able to do that.
So does that just mean that it's gonna funding's gonna be contingent on him doing it outside?
We can do that. We can do that. Yes.
I think it's hard to give them a dollar amount not knowing, are we going to blow through our capital quickly, or are we going to have more money left over?
We have, this is more money than we've had to grant in previous years with less applications. So I think we're fine.
I put down a small amount that I would feel fine giving him a small amount.
Sure. So because his budget, what is he paying for?
He
Let's see what he has to pay for.
travel, space rental, salary. Which is a 2-day thing, right?
We could try for half for now, and if we have anything extra to give more.
I feel okay about that.
$300. Does anyone feel differently? It would cover their fees for themselves, you know, or it can cover the space rental, the travel, and the production. It would cover significant costs for them.
I like the idea of making it contingent.
Contingent on them finding a space in Easthampton.
In Easthampton and outdoors. I think Sean is talking about outdoors.
Yeah, outdoors preferably.
I don't disagree.
Does he do outdoors? All of his examples were indoors. Yeah, I'm guessing they're all indoors.
Yeah. He just has examples, yeah. Okay, well, we need to decide if we are going to, he has not listed any outdoor venues.
Well, maybe that's all the more reason to make it contingent on it being outdoors.
Okay, so 300 contingent upon it being outdoors.
In Easthampton.
Outdoors in Easthampton. Is that what we're going with?
Sounds good.
So I have to write this down. Contingent, okay. Out, and it's $300, which covers significant costs for them. Okay. Next, Matt York, Songs and Stories, The Highway, Music.
I like this one.
So it's the same thing in a suitable town building. So they haven't talked to anybody. That's it. The only thing I don't like is they've not talked to anyone ever. It's like, you know, that's the other thing. It's like, yes, the venue suitability may change, but have they made any connection to even do it?
We could do another contingent grant.
Ah! That's my only thing, was we're going to encounter all of this. And also, I mean, I think this is definitely suitable for Easthampton. I think it definitely has an audience for it. I wish that they had reached out to anybody. And I think because of COVID, we're going to have to kind of, rethink how we're doing it. But if we do grant it, it's, I think, the same amount as we gave the other one, because it's the same thing with 2 people, right? And it would cover their $300 salaries, fees. Their budget, they're looking for $650, $300 for salaries and fees. And so like the other one, we could do a $300 grant contingent upon it being outdoors in Easthampton.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, look at us. We're moving along.
How much did you say?
300, just like the other one, because it's the
Sounds good.
same budget, basically, so it makes sense for us.
Perfect.
Great. Moving number 3. This is Easthampton Film Festival. So this is interesting. And this also, Casey, why don't you talk about it a little? I know you probably have an opinion about this.
I do have an opinion on this. After reading about this proposal, I went on the guy's website. He's got the Facebook post about it. So it's a happening thing, although COVID may switch it up. He's got 2 locations locked up to show the submissions that he's got plenty of submissions. Apparently the cutoff date happened before. So this thing is happening regardless of whether or not he gets money. But this is sort of public art. It's also going to be shown at the Winterfest. And I know this because I emailed him because he was looking for a caterer for the Banded Brewing showing. So I said I could cater that. And in the meantime, he had spoken to City Space about their space. They didn't have any projections, but they were going to look into it. And he also got permission to do it at Winterfest. And I stuck my head into Easthampton Media and to ask him, like, what do you know about this guy? What's the deal? And they were going to potentially sponsor some of the event, meaning that they were, I think, going to provide staff and equipment to show the films. And so he's going to look for other sponsorship opportunities, but I think he's going to be looking to show this more often. And I think he would like to do things outdoors, but who knows for sure. But it sounds like it's a guy with some credibility and likes to do this, make this an annual thing. And it would be nice for us to sort of showcase the film industry artists that don't get any opportunities. So I like this idea.
Well, I like that he has it planned and that he's actually spoken to people in Easthampton, and he has a firm understanding of bringing together these community partners to make this happen.
And it's going to happen regardless if he gets our funding.
And that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. So I'm looking at his budget, and so he's asking for $1,000, and it's reasonable. It's very reasonable. I think it would be terrific if Easthampton, Easthampton Media tried, some people who worked there in whatever capacity over the years, I've seen them try to do film festivals, and it's hard. So, and I don't know how successful they were in general, but I know people really enjoy them, and it's a great venue we have a lot of local filmmakers who I think would submit in the area. And also if Easthampton Media is on board and all these other venues are on board, it will have a trajectory, and it will have different avenues and different options. I personally think it would benefit Easthampton. We don't have a film festival right now. And I would not mind diversifying our offerings.
I like the idea of being supportive of a very promising first-time film festival to get it off the ground. I think that is exciting to me. So I would think coming in very high with this would be my choice.
That's what I had put down too. I put down large, like percentage-wise of what he was asking.
So unless anyone feels otherwise, I'm looking at,
Your voice went away. You went away, Rachel. Can't hear you, Rachel.
and then,
You're back again.
oh, I'm sorry, did I cut out?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Looking at the budget, we could cover their salaries and then maybe 70% of their other requests. So that would be 300 plus 490. So like, what if we funded it at 80%, like $800 or 850, and that would cover most of their, how about we cover $900 and not their miscellaneous costs?
There you go.
Sounds good.
All right. Very good. And if we can go back and we can add more to that at the end. Good. So I'm doing math. You have to excuse me. I got everything going here so that we can keep on track.
Well, I have it in the Excel program too, so I'm keeping track.
I am too, but I like to double and triple. I like to keep it written down. I don't trust any of it. And I also have to write down our reasons for what we're doing. So we're doing 900 for that. Very good. So let us move along
Now, to be fair with the other places, the other things you're doing, do we want to say that there has to be at least one outdoor venue?
So here's the thing. I get what you're saying. I think film can be difficult to do. We've thought about it as a group. I've actually investigated the projections.
Yeah, it just means that they have to have one night event.
I hear you. They also have to have a projector and operate the projector, which they supposedly will have. You want to make it contingent upon them having one outdoor event?
I think when we, come up with the language for the contingent offerings, I mean, we could say outdoor event and or indoor event with appropriate COVID protocols for the time. And that might give us some wiggle room. That's one idea. The other idea is, and this is something that just came to me, is that we might, as a council, think about investing in a screen to project things outside. But that just came to me. That's expensive, I suppose. Walls also work, I suppose, but projectors are expensive. But maybe we could think about just down the road being more having some kind of outdoor venue.
I
like you're thinking.
Yeah.
And I will say that the city of Easthampton has done outdoor movie nights. The rec department has had them at Millside Park and other places, and so it has been done in Easthampton using city equipment, or at least city having access to some sort of equipment to do it.
It's true. It's all true.
I'm a little reluctant, just given that it's in February, to require them to do an outdoor event.
Well, the other thing is this, they may not get their funding by February. It's a direct grant, but I saw that too, and I thought to myself, well, the way it works, and the checks will not be cut by then.
That's true.
But it also says, when will the project take, oh, sorry, I'm looking at the next one. Yes, I saw that also. So I guess the question is, are we really going to make things contingent upon being outside?
Sorry, I forgot about that part. The cold.
Yeah, that's just, I think it's really hard to do. With music, it's actually much easier in general, but I don't, if we're going to make everything contingent, I think by offering our mural, we really are offering a lot, we're giving a big boon for public outdoor art. That's what we have going for us. Even if they aren't offering it, we can try and prioritize the outdoor things. I don't know that we want to make everything contingent, though.
No, I'm just, I'm just trying to be fair in some ways.
So maybe we take the contingency off of our first two and just hope and know that they have to go with the protocols for, and give more funding to anything that is actually outside. Well, that's what we could do. We can decrease the funding level if it's not outside.
So those, the first two also just don't have venues, period, indoor or outdoor, right?
They do not.
And so that's the key thing.
I know that. But that's the thing. I don't like that they have, in other years, we would not have funded them because they did not have any community partners on board already. They hadn't discussed it with anyone,
Well, then maybe it's just contingent on finding the appropriate community partner.
Okay. That sounds much more reasonable. Let's revisit those at the end because we have them. Let's just revisit our contingent grants. Let's think about it and go back to it. Okay? Because we have funding the film festival at 900. We're not going to make it contingent for the film festival. I'm starting to see if we make everything contingent, we won't really have a firm grasp of our grantees.
Yep.
So hopefully we won't.
You're disappeared again. Disappeared again, Rachel. Rachel, stop talking.
No one can hear me.
Okay,
Can you
now
hear
we can
me?
hear you. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. So what I'm saying is let's leave the 900 for the film festival. Let's not make it contingent. Let's go through the applications. Let's fund the really solid ones and then quickly go back to the contingent and see if we just want to leave them as grants. And we can give the solid ones just more funding. Let's do that. All right. So next, this is, I'm sorry, this is the dancing and a lecture. And this also, this is all virtual on local cable access. And I believe this is not in Easthampton.
Yeah, I wrote, no.
Okay. Well, I think our issue with it is it's not necessarily our local community access. I can't find it.
No, I know you have to scroll through all these things.
It just has local cable access.
Yeah, it's not what we wanted to do. That we clearly said it was not going to be anything virtual. No objection. We're done.
We can say no.
Yep.
Well, are we saying no? I guess that's the question.
Yes, we're saying no.
A live pre-concert lecture for your community via Zoom. But they don't, what is our community? This is a blanket application that they sent to many cultural councils
Correct.
with no, we are confident that your local cable access station will participate.
They did throw in the word Easthampton somewhere in there, I saw, but.
Let's look at their budget real quick.
What is the name of this one?
Okay. Mostly it's just salaries. We're just paying them to do what they do.
What is the name of this?
It's called,
Piano.
Called Duo Pianists, Composers, and Educators, Whipple and Morales in Concert.
All right. Thank you.
I don't think we need to talk about it anymore. Right?
okay, and so
We lost her again.
So I think we're all a no, right?
Yeah, we all know. She just doesn't hear us.
we,
She's back. Sorry, Rachel, you went out again.
I'm just writing in the reasons why we're denying it. Okay, so now we go to Ezra. Are we all comfortable with that? Did I lose you again?
No, we are.
Are we? We're good? Okay. Sorry. So let's move on to Ezra Pryor. This is stand-up comedy, I believe, without looking offhand. I believe it is stand-up comedy. No, it's theater. So, oh, no, it is comedy. At comedy open mics around the valley. He would like to have open mics. I know there's a forum for that. I know that people like that. I know there's room for it. Ryan Arnold, I see, is signed on. Ryan Arnold works at Easthampton Media.
I spoke to him. He stands up for this guy.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing as music. It's a form of entertainment, and people attend it.
Yeah, I know there's room for it in Easthampton. I'm
Does he
looking
have
at
a
that.
location?
I think he might have mentioned. I'm trying to scroll through to find this one. Mentioned previous events that he'd done, and I think there's open door policies for that kind of stuff.
Salaries for acting and editing help. And rent room.
So
Video
Scrolling.
software.
Well, here's the thing. Camera equipment they can borrow from Easthampton Media for free. And also they can edit for free at Easthampton Media.
But does this mean it's going to be a Zoom thing?
No, because they have a, oh, that's so interesting. Rent a performance. I see what you're saying. Huh. Let's see really quickly. No, it says at comedy open mics around the valley.
Then why do they need video equipment software?
I don't know.
So it sounds like he wants to start his own troupe and have us pay for my company spelled, which is company spelled wrong, page and my comedy page. Website. I'm not sure what, yeah.
He estimates the number of people served to be 10. Is that a typo?
Possibly.
I hope so. He wants to make a show. He does want to make a show.
Yeah.
His application is very unclear. It's also not Easthampton specific. That's my other issue. But Casey, what are you saying about this? And he wants us to fund the whole thing.
The whole thing. Well, yeah.
He would like his projected budget is 2,000 and he'd like us to give him 2,000 for it.
Maybe he's a little bit shakier than I thought as far as, I just was saying on the level of comedy, it has the same weight as music, but it seems like it falls short on a lot of things.
It sounds like he wants to make a TV show.
Yep.
Yes.
He's also charging admission for this.
Yes, which they're allowed to do.
Yeah. But, he's asking us to fund the whole thing and then charge.
Yes, it doesn't add up to really a grant project in the way that he's presented it to us. Because he's saying also maybe he really means it will serve 10 people and it's the people in the show because they're making it as a vehicle for themselves to do other things.
Maybe we just say no because it's a poorly written application.
We tried to see if there's any way to fund,
Right, it's part that doesn't give us an understanding of where it's Easthampton because it's Valley.
We don't understand the community benefit. Let's for now say no. Does anyone feels differently about that?
No, if he was together and it was clear and we said no, then I'd feel bad. But it's just like Tracy was saying, it's like, hey, maybe we can get somebody to fund our comedy hot hour and we can have some fun. And, it's not a well thought out situation.
Yeah. I don't think it's really for an Easthampton audience. I think he was serious. It serves 10 people.
Maybe that's the joke.
I don't know. So we are denying that for community benefit, and we are now moving along. Look, we're already on number 7.
Really?
So yes, we are doing it. Oh, I'm lying to you. We're on number 6. I keep jumping ahead. Authors and Artists Festival. This is purely online. This is an online event. It's in its 3rd year. There's no cost to attend.
This was a no for me. Not what we asked for. It's online stuff. Not applicable.
I don't know though that I understand it. It's our lowest it's one of our lower funding. What it does have is all speakers are Black or Indigenous. I'm going to look at their budget. And this really is not Easthampton, but that's okay. It's not Easthampton based. All of the entities involved, none of them are in Easthampton. The biggest part of this is paying them. What we could do, what we have done historically, but look, they're only asking for $250 from us. And we can afford to do that this year. It's something different than what we've done. They're really asking for a very small amount of money. And what we could do is cover their publicity. They're saying their publicity will be $200, right? Why don't we pay for their publicity for $200? I think it's a bargain. They're asking us for $250. Can you hear me?
Why don't we pencil that in and then come back to it if there's something else that.
Okay, let's get the $200.
It is really impressive that they've gotten Ross Gay signed on.
They have a good speaker. They have a solid thing. The reason why I don't want to say no is because they're asking us for such a small amount of money.
Yeah.
And I feel good about being part of what they're doing for the ask that they're asking. They're asking for so little.
For that, I could agree with you on that. You know, I mean, it's good value.
I feel like I'd even be like, I'd give them they asked for $200 for publicity. Let's give them 200. They asked for $250. Let's give them 200 for their publicity, you know? So are we okay with that? Anyone have any other strong feelings?
I'm okay with it. But if we run into some tight, if we want to allocate money else,
I understand. I will put an asterisk. Okay. Okay.
And we're just trying to, be faithful to the priorities that we said. And we're not trying to be jerks. We're just, we had said there are certain priorities.
It's true. And just the funding level is very low. It's a very low funding level. That is why I feel good with it. How little they're asking for in relation to it is a low. We would be funding on a very low end compared to our other grant making. So I put an asterisk. So we have $200. It covers their publicity. And moving along, we still have almost $12,000. We're just, and so the next application is Karina Miller. I know about this. Has anyone else?
The owner of the botanist?
Yeah.
I put down no. I'm not exactly sure what she's asking for, but my reaction is no. I'm going to go read the thing now.
I can tell you exactly what it is. Do you remember our last funding cycle? Matt Medeiros submitted a proposal for I'm a Cowboy where he recorded an album with Graham, this producer, and then he did a show at Luthier's.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm plugging my computer in if you're wondering what I'm doing. It's kind of exactly the same ask. And I know she got in touch with Justin at Zone Lab because he got in touch with me. And I know that he would do her it's really the only cost is the production. And I know that she performs at Luthier's regularly. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, I just I don't know if you've ever heard her sing.
That's not our judgment.
That's not.
No, I know, but it does fall into that same category of I want to start a band. Can you guys fund me?
We funded it last year. She is a singer. She does have videos. She does sing songs. She's from the area. She has a store in the area. She has community ties with everyone in the area. She performs at Luthier's regularly. I know she got in touch with Justin at Zone Lab.
She performs regularly Saturday nights in front of her store with a big mic.
It's terrific. She is definitely part of the community, and she's certainly... We funded this last year for Matt Medeiros, the same thing.
I would be more willing to fund her if she was doing this outside at her shop. But I can't hear you, Rachel.
Okay, I can hear you now. Do you want to do it if she does it outside?
Well, I mean, I was saying that I would love to fund this if she was doing outside of her shop.
Yeah, so she'll do that. She's happy to. What we're funding really, though, is the album production costs. We did that also for Matt Medeiros for I'm a Cowboy last year. We funded them $600 and something for exactly the same thing.
Well, do we want to fund this for $600?
Yes. I do. I think she's a great local asset. I think she contributes greatly. I think she will follow through on it. I think that she's very committed to her project, and she has demonstrated a lot of her showmanship in Easthampton, and she will, she will do what she will record an album, and she will also, I know, share it with the community. She'll give copies to people. I did talk to her about it, and she's happy to perform. She loves performing, and I'm sure she would be thrilled to perform outside. She has her own venue to perform outside.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
Why don't we make it? Sorry?
she checks all the boxes. I mean, she has a venue, she has a project. So I think I support some funding. I think, she has a venue, but she also has venues lined up, which is what we ask for. So
She actually did talk to all of the people. She actually did all of the work.
Yeah, we're not saying anything against it.
Yeah, I'm just reiterating. So would we like to fund her? Let's look at, so her budget is all production. I know Justin is $500 a day. I'm sure he could come down a little bit if, to be a little more flexible based on, but not much. It's not, it's his time, and a day can be as long as she's there. And she's asking for $1,200. We funded it prior to this, at least a day of recording. I would be okay funding her. She also has to make some CDs. I don't think she realizes this. She'll have to actually press, or somehow. She also has MP4s she can share. I guess it's different digitally. You can make it a digital download for free. I realize I'm mistaken. But she's asking for $1,200, right? And we have funded this previously. Pretty much it was the same ask.
Hey, what did we fund? The $600 of it?
Yeah.
I'm fine with putting that in, unless we go over budget and we have to re-review. It's maybe it just becomes an ongoing thing that people know that they can get that from us as we get submissions every year, and hopefully they're come out positive. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she will definitely share it. She will definitely make events out of it. I know she will, and there will be outdoor events from it. Are we comfortable with allocating $600 to it for it to have a day in the studio and maybe some technical costs? And then contingent on an outside performance, and contingent with an outside performance.
Hey,
all right?
I mean, contingent, do we really want to be, do we want to make these?
No, I don't. I really don't. I don't.
Could we just say it would be really cool if you did that too?
Yes. Yes, and we can and we will. So
like
$600, perfect. Yes, I'm not interested in all these contingent grants either. Moving along, let's get to number 7. Very good. So $600. We're moving along swimmingly. Oh, I know it. Okay, so this is virtual. It's all virtual. And it's about Alzheimer's.
The name of it?
This is I'm sorry.
Cycle of memory.
Okay.
I don't. It's just it's not Easthampton. He threw it out to all the cultural councils. It's maybe a link. There's no community support that I see in this whole thing. I don't get the local part of it.
So they're asking for all of it. No, I'm sorry. They're asking for all of it. Their budget is $2,000, and they're asking for $2,000 for a virtual event. Do we want to come back and see if we have money left over for virtual events?
Sure.
So let's go down to Hilltown Families. So Hilltown Families, we sponsored this before. This is a listing of all the events in the area. This is where they list all of their events, and they also do, you know, it's a place where people can see what's going on.
Is it an actual event itself, or are they simply?
No, it's a listing.
It's a website, right? It's
right, but it's a listing that's useful, and people that we work with use it. They're asking for $250 out of a $15,000 budget. We can give them, I think we can give them like, you know, $100. It is a listing that everyone uses.
the one thing that I might think a positive is if it is aware of what our funding is, who our recipients are, and if they help share our funders, who we funded, you know what I mean? If it felt like it was a good representation for ECA or ECC,
yeah,
thinking
it is. They do. They used to work with Flywheel. You're going to remember this. They advertise the pancake breakfast. Like they are aware.
But is it an event? Is it public art? Is it, you know what I mean?
No, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't fit any of our criteria.
That's kind of sad but true. It's, you know, it should. I wish there was a way to fund it. And again, like we set aside different money that we were saying were for the Jason Montgomerys and the people that wanted maintenance or rent, that we could take out of that budget. But till we say this is our priorities.
Okay, let's move along. So we'll go back to it if we have money left over. So Arcadia Wildlife Sanctuary. This is always interesting because they have both outdoor and indoor spaces.
They have an excellent new outdoor space.
Yeah, the music space.
I think they erected that for maybe their preschool, but it's like all since COVID. And so
Suzanne Vega played there. Suzanne Vega.
She did?
Yeah. This fall.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually learned about this from one of the people who sits on their board. It's an outdoor venue for music and whatever else people would like to do. They have great facilities. So these are all free programs. They do many this is
what's the title of this one?
Neighborhood Nature.
Oh, in the fall?
Yeah.
Okay. They're asking for $600?
Yes, they're asking for very little, and they are such a great resource, and it looks like a great program.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's free. And
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's the problem. The specific thing that they're doing is not so clear.
Well, no, what I said, they know what they're doing. I mean, they
know what they're doing.
I
Yes.
trust them to pull this off. Yeah, I mean, there's not. It seems like they're kind of sketching out. Like, there's a PowerPoint presentation in other programs, but I would trust that they would pull that off.
They will. They will pull it off, and it definitely serves an audience, and it certainly will be good, and it will be done, and it is inclusive, and they do have all of the planning, and they will do it outside. They are asking for $670. Their salaries and fees are $600. Their marketing $50, supplies and materials $20. And yes, they are a full, complete application. I would be fine funding them at $600 and pay all of their salaries and fees.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Okay. Let's do that. Moving along. So now here we go. Here we are at 7 hours.
7 a.m. 54th anniversary season.
So if this happens in Worthington,
Yeah.
everyone okay? Is Sean okay?
Yeah, it's not Easthampton is what I wrote.
Yeah, it's in Worthington.
Yeah.
That's always our issue. They never. And it's at a concert hall in South Worthington.
Oh, it sounds like a no.
Like I said, there's some that we could just have gone through right through and say no without much debate.
We could just do that right now.
Okay, and so we're doing they're asking for $1,000 out of $47,000. So we're just saying no because it doesn't have enough community benefit.
Correct.
Okay. Compared to the other projects that are happening in Easthampton. That is the reason, if anyone is, if it's unclear about that. So Paul Sticka, we know Paul, moving along to Paul Sticka, we know him. He has done traditionally the fundraiser for the Spanish program in the high school. And I believe that this is no different. And he does do it. And this is so they can take a trip, right? Does everyone remember they do a fundraiser and he works with the high school. They do this every year. We funded this.
I vote yes.
Sounds good to me.
Me too.
I also just really like the band name. Acoustica.
And it is in our high school, and we have nothing else in the high school. We could give him, the only thing is it's nothing new. It is something we've seen every year. That's really the only thing that does not add up with
Something
it.
else comes that's better, we'll take it away.
Okay, that's reasonable if we're looking for money at the end. I'm okay with paying him his salary. I don't think we are going to pay the whole salary, but I mean, he's serious. He's committed. He does this, he works with the high school. It's the only thing happening at our high school, I think, that it's been applied for. I would be okay with giving him $350 out of the $475 he's asking for.
That works.
Okay. Does anyone have another opinion? Okay. Because then they get paid, and the high school has a program, and it benefits many students. So let's put that in. All right. So now we move on to Madge Evers, Drawing with Light, which is happening at Arcadia.
I didn't mind this one. Arcadia, like we said, is a good venue. They tend to get an audience. It's relatively cheap, and it comes out, I don't know, I think it's engaging for a small amount of people that show up for it, the kids or whatever, families, hands-on. I don't know, I liked it. It's cheap.
It is. Their thing is they will be charging for it.
Okay.
But then they're donating that fee to Arcadia. That confuses me.
Maybe Arcadia could waive the fee for people. I don't know.
Okay, so what they've worked out is Arcadia is offering the use of the art house, which is outside, and in exchange, all child and adult registration fees will be donated to the Arcadia Wildlife Sanctuary. So we probably would have liked it better if they had just asked us to pay for the
space.
They're also, it's also a big budget. And she's asking for exactly half of it from us.
The budget is salaries and then supplies. And then there's this rental of this art house. But you said that they had waived it?
No, what they're doing is they're going to charge admission and then use that admission to pay for the space rental. It says the number may vary on her budget because they don't know how many people will pay the admission fee. Well, if they're going to do it anyway and people would like to go, it is an outdoor event. The art house is outside, though it is technically an indoor space. It's a tough one.
For 600.
Yes, she's asking for half her budget. I would be okay paying for their salaries. Like we could give them 280 and we could give them also, just because I know people love to go to Arcadia and they will go if they have stuff to do there that they feel comfortable doing. And we could also pay for a different opinion. Oh, I've lost all of you. Great.
No, you just came back.
Oh, good.
Totally missed it.
Yeah, we
Okay.
missed everything you said, but you're back now.
I'm back. Hi. So we could pay for their salaries and their non-consumable supplies, $330. Only because I know it's Arcadia and I know people will go. And that's about half of what they're asking for. And they said they can change the other materials if they can't fund the other things, they're able to scale that back.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough positives. The location and
It's planned.
yeah.
So $330, and they said they could scale back the other aspects if they needed to. So what if we give them $330? Yes? Okay, great. Let's move along here. So 3:30. Good. So now we're at Roger Tinknell. We know Roger Tinknell, and he is actually put in 2 different applications.
I said one or the other of the 2 applications. It sounds like they're very similar things.
So here's the other problem. He seems to forget that we won't fund things at the library because it is not ADA. It is not accessible.
So why don't we take that one right off the plate, because it doesn't.
What we did before is we said yes, but contingent upon him finding a different venue.
Well,
If he keeps going to the same well and expecting to get money, and then us to figure out, wait for him to find a venue, we should just get a right venue the first time.
I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Tracy?
I was going to say, he's been told enough. Stop going to the library. We've given him redirection several times. So let's just redirect him by not funding him.
I know, and yet we hate not funding the library.
Well, we hate not funding a lot of things, but, we also expect other people to comply. So.
Right, and the library's got to realize that if traffic doesn't get steered their way, they have to figure out how to make that compliance. You know what I mean? Or this day and age, you know what I mean? We're talking privilege to the,
ADA is a big deal.
Yeah.
And let's stop privileging the white guy who keeps on bringing us the thing that we tell him to stop doing. And then we allow him to do it. When there's other people that we don't allow to do things. So
let's deny it based on, it's not an accessible location, and we've told him this in the past.
Yeah.
And they're both there, so we can just deny both. Does anyone have a different opinion?
No.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Pioneer Valley Ballet Guild, A Midsummer's Night Dream. It's a dance. They're proposing it at Park Hill Orchard in the summer. That's outdoor. So they have a commitment from Park Hill. It is outside. They do charge admission, is family friendly. There are 12 they've done this before. It's outdoors, and they have experience doing it. They have created their community partnerships. They will do this with or without us. Their total budget is $9,000, and they're only asking for $500 from us. And in terms of their actual project budget, their salaries, they're only asking for $500. I would fund, sorry?
I was going to say, basically, we're covering the cost of their administrative support.
Yes, and I would fund that fully because it ticks all of our boxes. It's an outdoor event, and they have done all of the work we have asked for.
Can we give them $1,000 then?
Let's go back if we have more, but can we give them the $500 they've asked for?
Absolutely. That venue was really good. I got to tell you, people, that attracts such a crowd every weekend. The weather's nice in the fall. I went and saw that show. You've heard this before.
Yeah.
And then I did a cast party for them. It was just a really good production, and we were just a small slice of that. And it was a winner. 600 people attended it over the 3 weeks scenario. So it's a great venue.
Yep.
All right, so we're giving them the $500 they're asking for because they have certainly ticked all of our boxes.
Okay, up next.
Okay, good. I'm sorry, I'm just recording all of this. So up next is Jim and Nikita. It is the Makerspace build. I don't know. This is happening.
It's happening at the Hilltown Charter School.
Yeah.
They did it. Everybody was like, "Do it outside."
I mean, I think it, it definitely serves some Easthampton people, and he seems to have done the work. He does have letters of support, and he has let's see real quick. It's just salaries and fees. So how about $200, since it does not, we can go back, but it definitely serves, it serves Easthampton.
Sure.
Does anyone feel differently? No. Okay. $200. That's great. All right. I'm sorry I have to record all this. So let me subtract. Minus 200. Good. 9054. Wilmington, it is the klezmer that we've spoken about, Jewish Arts Retreat. It is a suggested donation for the day, if you're a day only, but then if you go for the entire workshop, it is $50. They are qualified to do it. My issue is their budget is $5,000 and they're asking for $5,000 also from us.
It's in Cummington.
Yes, that's our issue. That's really our issue. I mean, we could fund it at a very low level. Their salaries and fees are $300. We could give them $300. And if any one of the Jewish community, if anyone was interested in that from Easthampton, they are certainly, invited to participate in that. I think that funding them at such a low level, it doesn't compromise our priorities. If we need to take that $300 and put it towards something else, we can. But I think $300 for their
like a
klezmer instrumental workshop. It's hard. This is actually hard because their ask is so large for something that really is not.
I guess I don't really see the reason why we fund it at all, given that
What is
it's not in Easthampton.
Because the idea being, there are cultural councils who say we only fund things that are in our jurisdiction, but the idea being they're eligible to apply because their programming can include people from other communities, just like Mill Pond Live. So Mill Pond Live happens behind the mill buildings here in Easthampton, but draws people from all over the area. So they would apply to cultural councils from all over the area. That's why. That's how. It is a different aspect of performance than we've ever had submitted to us. I just don't like the level of funding they're asking us for is not appropriate.
It sounds like they've got about a dozen other cultural councils they're asking for money for, and it's just sort of like, it's just, there's so many of them that there's so much closer that would be more responsible for that budget, for filling that budget. You know, I don't think it's us.
Well, what we can say, it has less community benefit. I mean, I just think it's an offering that we don't traditionally see. And I personally would feel comfortable funding them at a very low level. We can contribute a small piece to their pot, thinking that perhaps they'll have a small piece of Easthampton come to them as audience members. Certainly, we cannot fund them at the level of funding they're asking us for. However, I mean, we could fund one of their workshops for $300 and feel good about it. And you know, if we say we are putting $300 towards your klezmer instrumental workshop.
Again, Rachel, that also falls into the category of it. If we do give them $200-300, it is a lot of exposure. It's only a seed, a little bit in their pot, but yet if it does get 150 people to go over the weekend, they might then be familiar with Easthampton Cultural Council. Get familiar with it.
Yes.
And we're only at about a little over $4,000 spent so far too. So just to get an idea of, our budget so far. So we could put in a $200 or $300 money that we go back if we're under budget. We simply say yes.
Yes, but by saying we could fund one of your workshops, the salaries and fees for one of your workshops, it's a very good funding. I mean, we're funding something. We're funding the, klezmer instrumental workshop that they are requesting $300 to pay that salary.
And they explain that in their contingency, if they don't get the funds, they'll just cut back on the amount of artisans they have doing things. So it sounds like if they get, a bunch of these monies, then they'll have a bunch of artisans. But if they get a bunch of this money, then they'll have fewer artisans. So I think that it's worth at least considering giving them some that we can go back to and see if we're under budget.
We'll pay for half a porta potty, $150. Yeah. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I would have funded their full porta potty.
Well, let's go back afterwards, see if we can afford a full potty.
Okay.
Okay, I would like to be able to type. Oh, there we go. So you want to put 150? I wanted to put 300 for fund one of their
workshops. Let's put 300 in there for now because I think our budget can be able to afford it.
Great. Does anyone have a different opinion?
No.
We can fund one workshop that they're asking us to support. I think that's appropriate. It's a diverse offering that we've not seen before.
Yes.
It is in real life.
Yes.
It is. It's too bad it's not in Easthampton, but it
is true, but it's something that's not traditionally offered. So if there are participants who would like to participate who live in Easthampton, we could feel good about being part of that as well. It's not something we see all the time come our way. And then so we put 300, we'll fund one of their workshops. Moving along, Kate O'Connor, Climate Healing Chorus, Early Summer at Arcadia. We know her. We know this, but usually Dan Russell submits this grant. And now Kate O'Connor is submitting it. She has done this before. And she will give a live concert, and we're paying for her original music.
Sounds good.
It is good. They do this, and it's at Arcadia, and it's free.
Yep.
We could give them $600 for their salaries. Does anyone feel differently?
No.
Let's pay their salaries. Okay. It ticks all our boxes.
Yep.
All right, so now here we go. Southampton community together again in song. This is the Southampton Community Chorus, which is physically located in Easthampton.
Yeah.
That's funny. And this would take place at Easthampton Congregational Church on the corner of Main Street. So it's happening in Easthampton. It's an in-person concert. It's a donation ask at the door. And it's open to everyone. I mean, the only thing we don't love is that it's not outside, but
Big
if not
space.
ever, sorry?
It's a big space.
It is, and it's real, and they've done this before, and they're doing it right in the center of town, and it's free, and they're asking us for a lot of money. Their total budget is $3,050, and they're asking us for $3,050. That's the issue. That's a big issue. And it's not the right ask for us.
If they had been asking us to cover the costs of an outdoor venue or doing, I mean, I just go back to it would have been nice if they had asked us to cover something and they were meeting all the things we were saying about wanting to have public art. But renting the church, it's only $125 to rent the church. We're covering their insurance fees too.
I don't know.
They have a list of insurance in there for this summer for $300.
That's an event. That's event insurance.
Yeah.
Because so many bad things happen at the church.
Well, it's a slip and fall.
Yeah.
That's when I do events. I get event insurance.
Yeah, no, and when I've had events too, we've had, act of God coverage if the, snow prevents people from getting to the event or if it's too rainy out, and you can't have the event, you have insurance to cover the costs. Believe me, it kept Pride afloat for many years. There were a couple times where we would look at the rain clouds and go, please start raining just enough to kick in the insurance, but not keep away the crowds.
We could pay for just $1,250, half the salaries for one of the concerts.
It's a lot of money. How many concerts are there? I haven't figured that out
I
yet.
thought it said two.
Two. That's a lot for one.
What about space rental and insurance?
It's true.
$550.
Yeah, let me look.
Well, we were just talking about how this is the most money that we've ever had.
No, I know, but we need to, but it's, the ask is to, it's not, we assert primarily we usually cannot cover the full amount you're asking for. Well, We could pay for their, I mean, it is happening in Easthampton. I think they will do it. I think they have done the right thing. So we could choose to pay for their, we could pay, they've never asked us before. It's a new application. I'm okay paying their salaries for one concert.
It's $12.50.
Yeah. I'm with, you know.
I mean, if we're over budget, we can go back and look at that one. I mean, that
And the
puts,
downside of it is it's indoors, but maybe pay for the spring one and have them have the windows open. I don't know.
Does anyone not want to feel like this should not be funded by us?
I think we should fund it. I'm just thinking of the amount.
yeah,
think we
check
should-
a lot of the good boxes, but it's a lot to ask for. I mean, what's the contingency plan if they don't get the funds from us?
Died.
They're going to perform without an accompanist or musicians.
I would imagine that people participate in this because it's fun and it's a volunteer. They just do it for fun. So I would imagine that the real expenses here are the insurance and the.
So let's pay for their insurance and their space rental, their concrete costs, which they can't scale back.
And then we could also maybe this could be one we can come back to and
And if we have more left over, that's fine.
All right, so what's the new amount?
So we're looking at $550. And we can come back to it if we have more. Yes, we'll pay for their concrete costs. It's a good idea.
Okay, next.
Montgomery. He actually is.
You're broken out again. Rachel. Can't hear you.
They're both for $5,000.
You're back.
We didn't hear any of that.
Okay, so there are two applications from Jason Montgomery.
Yep.
They are both for $5,000. They are not sitting next to each other, but we might want to consider them both at the same time because.
Well, I think they're different asks as far as I understand. The one for the 50 arrows is basically maintenance for their studio, which falls into the category of something that we don't do. And then the other one is an event that he does every year, which is a public art event or public art installation that I think is a very successful thing.
Yeah, I've been under the impression that the Ofrenda is well attended,
Yes.
and so that seemed to be the one that would be more exciting to fund.
Yes.
It's a project.
Well, or more in compliance with our requirements. I mean,
Yes, we don't want to fund general operating expenses.
don't fund. Yeah.
Where does that event happen, or where does that is that a Holyoke thing?
It has been. I think now they want to do it in there. They have opened a gallery in Eastworks on the second floor called 50 Arrows.
Right.
And so they're asking for general operating funds for 50 Arrows. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through since they're not next to each other. And they're asking, one is for the operating expenses for 50 Arrows, and the other is for the event at 50 Arrows. Hang on, I will get there.
Yep.
So what we're saying is so here's our issue. Hang on, I'm getting there.
Yep.
Have we decided we don't want to fund general operating funds in
Correct.
general? That's our
We've said
lowest.
that.
Yes. So, hang on, I'm
This-
getting
Number
there.
15, proposals for operating funds will only be considered after project-based grant proposals have been evaluated. So if this is a
So we'll
general.
go back to that one.
So yep, so this is the 50 Arrows.
Yep.
That'll be last considered.
Yes. So now we're going to let's just look at his other application because I'm here.
Okay, so the
'Cause we're-
ofrenda.
It's in the second floor of Eastworks. So what it doesn't have going for it is it's not outside, but that's okay. They don't expect any money from our cultural council, by the way.
We don't
That's what
expect anything from this.
That's what they've
this-
said. It says, how will you adjust the project if the council cannot find the entire amount you are requesting? Their answer is, honestly, ? We don't expect anything from this particular cultural council.
I think they've had a bad experience in the past with arts groups. And, when you're on the cover of the Boston Globe, Sunday Globe, for your handling of submissions to arts things, I think that's the nature of that. I think that he doesn't understand the
He understands it. He chooses not to.
true. He's a great bully and victim at the same time. It's amazing. So yeah, I mean, we could just talk about
I'm trying to get into the budget. My computer is not liking
his
it.
budget's kind of. He asked for the whole thing, but yet he says he expects nothing, and he has other forms of sources. I think that would be fine for us to just determine what we would like to give to it, because it is an actual substance of art that's made that sticks around that the public can see. I think that it's in a situation where it's not a crowded, it's an ongoing thing, so you can just stroll through. It's not like a crowded happening. So although it's indoors, it's not as terrible as an event.
So their budget is it's $5,000. They're asking us for all of it. Salaries and fees are $2,500. Supplies and materials are $2,000, and marketing and promotion is $500.
We could contribute to, supplies.
Would you like to pay for their supplies?
Maybe not all of it, but when I've seen photos online, it looks like it's a pretty substantial amount of material that goes into this. A lot of work too, a lot of meticulous work. So supplies and labor, I don't know. Like I'm thinking this could be one of the ones we spend around $1,000 on.
I would give them even more. I would pay for all their supplies. If we can, we could go back to it. I'm certainly happy to give them half their supplies, and if we have more money, we could go back and give them more.
Sounds like a great starting place.
Yep.
Okay, so let's allocate currently 1,000. And we'll deny the other one because we won't have enough money. And because we're not supporting that, we'd rather support in our priorities.
Okay.
Okay. And we feel, anyone have a differing? Here we go, 6604. Okay. And now we move along to Edward Blonyar's the Scarecrow Festival. They're asking for $350 out of $500.
I say we give them $350
Yep.
Because it ticks all our boxes.
or $500 because it ticks all of our boxes.
Well, we have other ones that will tick all our boxes. I've seen them. So, and they are bigger operations than this. So let's give him what he asked for.
All right.
Okay? Does anyone feel differently? Just to actually give them what they asked for, since it does coincide with our priorities. All right. So the next, sorry?
That sounds really good. The next one looks exciting too.
Yes, at Old Town Hall with Philip Asimovic.
Which one is this?
Gamelan workshop.
Slavic? Okay.
Those things are fascinating. It's beautiful. It's unlike anything we've done. It's also an educational program.
I'm trying to get there. Here we go. Here we go. His budget is 2,217. He's asking us for 2,217. It's happening in Old Town Hall. He lives in Easthampton. It's not inside.
It is inside.
I mean, it is inside. I'm sorry, it's not outside. I don't. Oh, okay. The salaries are $100 per workshop. The workshops are, the concert fees are $1,400.
There's also a suggested donation for the concert at $20.
$3, yeah.
So I mean, it's pay for the workshop salaries.
I would pay for the workshop salaries. It has they're asking for a lot of money for a very small niche audience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would feel comfortable paying the $500 for their workshop fee. It is in Easthampton. Does anyone feel differently? All right, $500 for their workshop fee. And now we're going to Pamela Means Presents at Luthier's Co-op. Her budget is $1,390, asking for $950. It is a one-off in December of 2022 at Luthier's. It's protest music, and it's called The Power of Protest Song. It's performance and presentation. Pamela Means, I know, has worked with Luthier's Co-op for a long time, and she does do shows. I'm not sure she's ever come to us, as long as I've been here, for any grant funding.
I don't believe that she's come to us for any funding.
So let's pay her artist fee of $600. Which, to be honest, is a lot for a one-off for us, for a small
Agreed.
venue. Sorry?
Agreed. I agree that's a lot of money for a one-off.
Why not 500 or?
I'm looking at her other costs. Why don't we pay for her ASL interpreter fee, and
Venue overhead.
that's even more.
That's 640.
40.
So 600 is.
Good.
Okay.
Well, she is getting an interpreter. We've never seen that offered. That's pretty amazing. So let's pay her artist fee. It's different. It's a different ask than we've ever been asked, and it offers a different segment of the population.
Can we say that we're specifically giving the money for the interpreter?
It won't matter.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking if we can say, like
Yeah, we
really
can.
want to fund your interpreter.
Yeah, because it's interesting, and it's valuable, and we don't normally see it.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
So even if for whatever reason I don't even know if it's in there. If she ends up videotaping it, to videotape and have an interpreter as part of the videotaping, and again I can't remember if she said in there. Yeah.
So let's pay her artist fee.
Okay.
She'll spread. Sorry?
Is she doing a similar show in a bunch of other towns, or she's applying to a bunch of other councils, but I can't imagine she's applying to all those councils to play at Luthier's.
She's not. I think we should pay. I'm confused a little bit by her application. If she's asking us for the full ask and she's also applying to other councils. I think sometimes people get confused with the budget, is my guess. It seems they're not exactly clear about, I'm okay paying for her ASL interpreter fee of $400. For sure. And we could also pay for her posters, flyers, and postcards. $550. Because she can adjust her artist fee and her venue overhead. She works with them.
Sounds about right.
And traditionally, we would not give more than this for a live concert. Just the ASL interpreter fee is pretty great. I kind of want to give them the $640. Does anyone else feel okay with $640 paying for their venue overhead and their ASL interpreter fee?
Good.
That sounds good.
Okay, great. I like your photo, Christopher. So $640. You're welcome. And she's asking for $950, so that's great. So that's pretty terrific. So let's do the $640. All right. So here we go. 5964. Here we go. 640. Okay. Moving along. Kathleen Conlon, Hampshire Young People's Choir Outreach Tour.
Oops.
Several towns, including Lathrop Community in Easthampton. Elders and school children.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's intergenerational.
It is. It's indoors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm just having a hard time with this, with the resurgency that we're having of COVID, with putting together seniors and children together.
Well, that's not really
singing.
our.
I know. I'm just saying.
I know it's
Having a hard time with young children, seniors, and singing in a room.
Yes.
Okay. They want $700 for a bus, and they want to split it with South Hadley, which means they're really asking us for $350. We can give them $250 towards their bus. It happens in Easthampton. They've done the planning. They've not ever asked us for funding before.
And the summertime's going to be much better as far as the numbers go.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe Lathrop will say to them, "Come stand outside and sing." So
Good. So are we comfortable giving them, they're asking for $350 towards their bus. We can give them $250 towards their bus.
sure.
Okay. Because it's new and it's in Easthampton and it's children and older people. And while COVID may not be ideal in that scenario, we'll see how they work it out. The next one is an application from City Space in town. Burns Maxey has submitted it. It's a Wild and Precious Arts Festival happening in May. Their total budget is $5,000. They're asking for $1,500. I know they have secured locations, and they plan to serve a large amount of people. This is highlighting artistic works of women over 50. There will be an art exhibit, participatory art activities, cabaret, gospel concert, singer-songwriter showcase, poetry reading, and dance party with a live band and more. We have not ever been asked for an event for women over 50.
Will they be wearing red hats?
I do not know.
It used to be a thing with old ladies.
I do not know.
Seeing that I have now reached that age where I qualify as a woman over 50, I have not been given a red hat to wear. So,
Well, maybe Casey would like to sign up.
Yeah, I have hats.
if they're
I'm
not
over
red hats.
Yeah, so the players on this involved are regulars that, Mary from the O-Tones and, all the names that they listed. We'll do something with them that weekend. It's apparently going to be a multiple day thing. We'll host a dinner or do something with them somehow, some way. I know it'll be good for us that weekend. So, I probably shouldn't be voting on this, but yeah, I'd say give them what they're asking for. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be in the center of town. There's an audience for it, and there are people who have produced in the past.
Yeah. So their budget, I'm looking at it. So they're only asking for $1,500 out of $5,000. We could pay the fee for Easthampton. You could pay their fees, $900 for their space rental.
That sounds good.
That sounds good.
Sure.
Maybe
What's the Marigold Theater?
Good question. But these are all in Easthampton, so I will tell you. It's an event. It's the new event venue at 84 Cottage Street. I believe it's in the space that was the tattoo shop in the middle of the block.
Old, what's that called? The theater.
Yeah, the Majestic.
Majestic, there you go.
But yeah, but we could pay for their spaces, the $900. Does anyone feel differently? Okay, let's move along. Doing some math here.
We're at $7,000.
No, we're left with 4,814. I'm doing what we're left with, 4,814. Right?
Yep.
Okay. And so we're almost there. We're almost there. So next is Maitri Chakraborty. This is an interdisciplinary East meets West, and this will be part of Mill Pond Live. This, no, I'm sorry. My thing is, I'm being defeated by my computer. This is a 60-minute video project with songs and poems and readings of two great poets of two different cultures and time.
It's virtual.
So, yes.
So it's at the bottom of our.
So you want to go back to this?
Well, I know we're getting towards the end, but I'm just thinking. Yeah, let's put it at the towards the bottom.
Okay,
Or towards the bottom. Sorry.
we'll come back. So let's move on to. We're almost there. Bombix, Center for the Arts and Equity. So this is Cassandra Holden. These are the people who do Mill Pond Live. And this is actually happening in Millside Park in Easthampton in the fall. Yes. And it is Mill Pond Live.
Because I was confused, because Bombix is the name of the new performance space in Florence.
But I believe they've started a nonprofit. So they've become a 501c3 through Bombix. I think that's the name of their nonprofit, and that's who's applying for it. And it is also an indoor cultural center, but Bombix, the nonprofit, is the same people who do Mill Pond Live, but now they've become a nonprofit. They were not previously a 501c3. And now, as the nonprofit, they are asking for funds for Mill Pond Live. So it's actually a different ask, but for live outdoor performances, which we know they do extremely well.
Yep.
And they bring in a variety of
acts, very, very diverse offerings for a very diverse audience. And they welcome everyone, and it is free. I would fund them fully if I could.
So would I.
They're asking for $2,000 out of their almost $70,000 budget. We still have, this is an event that brings people from all over, and everyone in Easthampton loves every year, and they do it so well with such diverse offerings, and they ask for such a small part of their budget.
Let's do that. And then if we run out of money by the end, we can maybe take a few $100 out of it, but we're going to be funding this highly any way you look at it.
I agree.
Yeah, the only thing I can see them running up against is that they are one of those repeat asks, and I'm not dissing them. I'm just saying that's
true.
Our rules. But Bombix has never applied.
They have not, and they do tick every other box. They are outside, and it's so many concerts, and it's such a diverse offering. And it's such a small part of their budget. Mm-hmm. And they do it really well.
Yep.
We get so much bang for the money we invest with them. So can we fund their $2,000 for now?
Yes.
And go back if we need to. We're almost done. Our next one is Diana Alvarez. We funded her this past year. This is a music concert happening at Park Hill
Yeah, she's, outdoors. She's doing things. It's a new concert this year? Or is it just a recreation of her old concert?
No, it's a different concert. This is extraterrestrial genderqueer music and poetry for healing and community.
Yeah, she did poetry for healing and community last year.
You're right. It's Claire Vaubert. She got me because yes, she did this last year. You're correct, Tracy. You're entirely correct. I saw the other name first and did not think it was the same. So I just want to quickly look at her budget. So the artist, she's asking for the entire thing and for artist fees. And while it is the same, it is outdoors, she does do it. We could give her half of her ask. It is outside. It's a big deal.
Yep.
It is our biggest. Sorry?
Does she attract an audience?
I think so.
Because it's a good venue.
Yeah, she does. We funded 2 programs for her last year.
Yeah, we quite a bit more than 500 last year, I believe.
That's because she had 2 different,
Yeah,
That's right.
but yeah, 500 sounds good.
yes. We can't, I mean, it's a very general thing she's asking for $1,000.
And Bridge Song was a very, very general thing. It was basically her picking artists that she was going to then share money with.
Okay, so are we okay funding her at $500 for half of her salaries?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're almost there. Valley Arts Mentors, it's a virtual mentorship program. We did this last year. They're asking for $600 out of $87.50.
It's no real event kind of thing. It's a positive thing, but it's really I don't know.
And it's virtual.
Yeah.
And webinar series. I mean, that's exactly what we said we would consider last if we.
It's just interesting because it offers something that we don't normally have. The issue is it's virtual. They're only asking for $600 out of $8,750, which I'm not exactly sure what that will go to, but it seems to go towards the fees. I'm looking at their fees, their panelist fees and their mentor fees. I only like it because it offers something different. And I think they know what they're doing. I would be okay giving them $300. And they focus in a specific sector of the population.
But is this is this open to anyone who wants to? Is there specific for Easthampton members? I mean,
No. And they're applying to every cultural council. It is not specific. And I think mostly it's based out of Holyoke. Target audience is early career artists and established artists, arts organizations, educators, small business development programs, and anyone interested in the benefits of mentoring in a webinar series. It is free. And they're giving $200 stipend to their mentors. So perhaps we pay for one of their mentors for $200. We pay one mentor.
Well, yeah.
That is
Maybe-
reasonable to
We
pay
could
for
ask
one of,
to-
if it's $200 per stipend per mentor, we can pay for one. They're asking for money from many cultural councils.
That seems to make sense because they say they have one or two mentors from Easthampton, so that might sort of be a way
Yes, we
to
could
tie
pay
in
for,
the Easthampton side of
Please
things.
pay for one Easthampton mentor.
yes. Is everyone okay with paying for one mentor for $200?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, great. All right, moving along, we are down to Madge Evers. I feel like we saw her already,
You did see her already.
but now she wants to do the same thing, just in map space and
Yep.
not the exact same program. So are we gonna, it's either at map space or it's at Arcadia.
Well, Arcadia was in the lighthouse.
And it was in the drawing house, the art house.
Yes.
Yeah, map space is really inside.
She's really inside.
Let's pay for one. We already approved one.
Yeah, just one.
Okay. Moving along to Michelle Mariquin, Fragile, a dance about the fragility of a single life. It is happening in Easthampton. She's asking for $500 out of $600. Sorry, I'm skipping along here.
She's done dances before. She did one several years ago, at along the pond, at the cemetery.
Yeah, I remember the Day of the Dead she did, and I know she's done also workshops at Park Hill Orchard. She doesn't seem to know exactly where she will do it, but I know she will do it.
It was part of the Wild and Precious Art Festival.
Not asking for much.
No.
500 for artist fee and costume.
Well, she's only asking for $500. I think we should pay her $300 artist fee and be done with it, because she doesn't know exactly where she's having it.
Oh, I thought you was asking for 6.
No, she's asking for 5. Her
I'm
total
looking.
budget is 6, and she's and so if I look at her budget, the artist fee for creation and performance is $300. So we could pay for that, or we could pay for the fee for design and fabrication plus 4 rehearsals. I would say we pay for either the $300 for the artist fee or the $300 for the other 2 things.
Sounds good.
300.
Yep.
Great. I'm confident that she will put it together, and it is in Easthampton, and she does have all of her community engagement. So we're almost done, and we still have $2,000. So moving along, we've already looked at this Jason Montgomery, and we put $1,000 to the Ofrenda. So our last one is Resilient Community Arts. This is interesting. Does anyone know this group?
I know of them. They are in Eastworks,
Right.
and they're rather new.
Yep.
Um,
It's a pilot program, and they've been working hard in a volunteer capacity. I know that. I know people who have worked with them. They really believe in them. And I know they've also been working with ECA. And this is this is focusing on collective activism with BIPOC and LGBTQ plus participants. It seems to be about organizing and,
Yeah, it's not really like an event per se, or like a production. It seems like it's general cost, but I agree with you that it's right in the heart of Easthampton. It gets the multicultural age stuff, and it seems like it's a good organization so far. It's young in its infancy.
They're coming together. They're trying to produce 2 collaborative actions next year with a guest facilitator, meaning they're trying to bring together different sections of the population to create positive change. It's interesting. They are real life things. They are 2 events.
Right.
Do you want fees for guest-led workshops? So yeah, there's and fees for facilitators, and then fees for 4 artists.
Yeah, I would give them the $500 for their fees for the guest-led workshops. Right? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, so they're asking for $500 for fees for their guest-led workshops, which is what we're interested in. I think we can pay $500 for their guest-led workshops happening in Easthampton. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, will the guest-led workshops happen if they don't fund this? I mean, I guess do we feel strong enough that the workshops will happen if they don't get the money for the other parts? Or does it say that
they will to scale back, they can adjust the schedule of actions to include only 1 action event versus 2. And they can also scale the program back to 4 months, and the artist facilitator stipends will be scaled back proportionately. Right now, we have enough money to give them a little more. We do. I'd be very curious. They have a lot of community support already.
Yeah, what I've seen so far, I like. I've opened studios, and I was going by another day, and stuff was happening there.
So I'm actually even okay giving them their overhead fees and their fees for their workshop. I would be okay, or giving them marketing materials, giving them $700 for their workshops and for their marketing and materials.
Yep, they're talking about doing art exhibitions in public spaces.
So then let's pay $1,200 for one of their artists.
All right.
This is another one of the ones that kind of feels good. The film festival feels good, kind of helping out
Yes, it seems like it has a lot of room to grow, and it can have a big impact. And if they want to do public art, it is certainly our highest priority.
Yep.
And
so, sorry.
They're specifically asking for money for salaries, not for overhead. So
then so they say it's $1,200 per artist activist. So should we say $1,200? We'll pay for one?
yes.
Okay, very good.
Where does that leave us?
$814.
How much did we end up deciding on for the Gamelan workshop?
I'm looking.
500.
That's a lot of money for that. Yes, we gave them $500.
For a 1-day workshop for very few people.
But we need to go back to the ones that we haven't done. So the one we haven't done is number 30, My Tree Chakrabarti. This is the virtual the 60-minute video project. She's visiting the Dickinson Museum.
How is it connected into Easthampton?
It is not. It is virtual and can have an Easthampton audience.
Yeah.
I think we are denying it because it does not tick any of our boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just looking to see. There's one we need to look at. The cycle of memory. That's the Alzheimer's project.
Yeah, and it's not Easthampton.
It's all virtual, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is virtual. I think we're saying no to that.
Yeah.
We also need to look at Hilltown Families Suggests the listing.
Well, if
I
it seems that we have a little bit extra money, then we can give them some, right?
Yes, I think we should give them $100 towards their listing. They list all of our events.
Yeah.
Does anyone feel differently? Okay. We also need to look at,
Did we nix both of Tinknell's?
yes,
Yeah.
But one of them is not at the library.
really?
The second one says Easthampton Head Start. Is that the library?
I didn't see that.
Sorry.
Let's see.
Thanks for catching that, Sean.
Let's go look.
I've never heard of Easthampton Head Start. Maybe it's.
Well, it happens, I think, at the community center.
Oh.
Let's see. I'm getting there.
Island Vacation is at the library.
Yes, and the other one is Easthampton Head Start.
After school.
We put that in his application. So it's at Whitebrook Middle School. And he's asking for 500 out of 520. We can fund this.
Is
We don't-
anything happening at Whitebrook Middle School this year?
No,
I mean, they're in their transition year, so
but it'll probably move with it wherever it goes.
It's
Yeah.
ongoing till June. June will be the last month that they're in there.
yeah, he's saying he's doing this over the summer. I think that's what it says. Let's see here.
Well, maybe Head Start uses the school then.
It says September 2020.
Sorry, it disappeared. Rachel. Can't hear you, Rachel.
$100 towards his artist fee.
We missed much of that, Rachel. What did you say?
He's asking for $500 for his artist fee and $20 for his miscellaneous expensive. We can give him $200 towards his artist fee.
Yeah. It says
Sounds good.
18 Head Start children will attend.
I would fund it more than that.
You want to give him half his artist fee? He's charging $500 for it. You want to give him $250?
Sounds good. I mean, is he one of those repeat?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but he also serves, the Head Start programs don't get enough funding.
It gives them programming. That's
gives them
why
programming.
it's good.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
I'm just making an observation. It's the same thing about laudables. It's sort of like it's hard to say no to good people, even though they come back again and again. It's like if there's other people that are better than them or newer, I'd give it.
It's true. He knows what he's doing. We just like we would love to fund library programming, but because it's ADA, we can't. So we have enough money to even give him $300.
That works.
Sean, does that feel better for you to give him 300 out of his 500?
Yeah, that sounds good. What do we have?
Okay. We're down to 414. And we have, I believe, looked at every application.
I just have a note for the Music Together, the Southampton crew, that we said that we might give them more if there was more money left over.
So we said $414.
So we're reconsidering the Southampton chorus.
Well, I just had a note that we were giving them $550, and that we would review giving them more if they had money. I'm trying to look at the list to see who else we might fund more. Whether
I am too.
If the high school teacher Paul, whether or not.
So we wanted to give Southampton Chorus more. We could put them up to 700 instead of 550.
Okay.
Because they had asked for a lot more money, 700. So that's another $150 to them. Okay, we have another $264. We could give it to the Ofrenda.
That's a good idea. That's right. That would be a good one.
Yes, should we give our remaining $264 to the Ofrenda? We can give them a little more money, send it their way.
Yes.
Does anyone, sorry?
Are we currently giving him 1,000?
Are giving him 1,000.
So it would go up to 1,264?
Yep. We really wanted to fund it, and he's asking for a lot more.
But he doesn't think that we'll give him anything.
It's okay. That's all right.
The chip on the shoulder is always there.
It's okay. We still want to fund it.
Round number is nice. I know that's not
We,
possible.
it shows that we wanted to give him what we had to give.
Yep.
It's really like, but we're giving you extra than we thought we would be able to, based on our other applications. It shows we're trying. We are trying to fund him, but we have to fund everyone else too that had applications that were, fell into our purview. Is everyone all right with increasing him to $1,264 for the Ofrenda?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Then we are done.
All right.
Our work here is done. In case, do you have this written down also?
Yeah, I put it into the Excel sheet. So it looks like it's off by a couple of bucks, but not much at all.
What do you think it's off by?
I had our total down as 12,670. But again, I was scrolling through, so I may have just missed a $50 amount that we ended up increasing or decreasing. Well, what did you get for a total?
I can add it all up now. Hang on 1 minute. I'm screenshotting this in case I lose it. Hang on 1 sec. Bear with me for 2 seconds. I just don't want to lose any of this. What do you have for Resilient Community Arts? How much money we gave them?
What's the name of their project?
So I have 14,384.
That's our total.
Yeah.
But then our budget was only 13.
Our budget was 13,434. So something's wrong.
Yes. Which one are you asking about?
Resilient Community Arts.
I have 1,200 down.
Right. Can we go through? Did everyone else write down the amounts?
All right, just start at the top.
So we had 300.
Yep.
300.
Yep.
900.
Yep.
200.
Yeah, 0, 0 for the next two people.
Yeah,
200.
and
Yep.
then 600.
Yep.
Then 100.
Okay, that's what I missed. For Alex?
No.
Was that the media cycle of, no.
No, for Hilltown.
Okay, that's the one I missed. All right, keep going. You a loser? We had Arcadia for 600.
And then 600 for Arcadia, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then we skip down to Paul Sticka, 350.
Yep.
And then Madge Evers, 330.
Yep.
And then we skip down to Roger Tinknell for 300.
Yep.
And then we're at 500 for, yep. And then 200.
Yep.
And then 300.
Oh, I had that Rachel Leader. I had that for 100. So that's 300.
300.
Okay. Yep. 600 for Kate. Does that sound right?
Hi, sorry, I couldn't hear you. So I'm still at the 300 for Rachel Leader.
Yeah, keep going then.
And then 600 for Kate O'Connor.
Yep.
700 for Southampton.
Yep.
Okay, and then you're denied, and then 350.
Yep.
And then 500.
Yep.
640.
Yep.
250.
Yep.
900.
Yep.
And then 2,000.
Yep.
Then, hang on.
500. Diana.
600. Hang on.
600.
Hang on. Yeah, 500 for Diana.
Yep.
Then 200.
Yep.
Then 300.
300, yep, for Michelle. And then finally, we had 1,200 for the arts, Maddie McDowell. That puts us at 1,300, 13,120.
Really?
What do you get? This is on a spreadsheet. It adds it automatically.
Right. And how much money do you think we have left?
You said we had 434?
Hang on. We have 13,434.
434, yeah. So that leaves us with a total of, by my math, $314.
Right?
I say give it to the film festival.
On my spreadsheet.
What about your spreadsheet?
My spreadsheet adds up to 14,484.
Well, someone's
Weirdly.
spreadsheet somewhere is wrong.
Correct.
I would trust yours.
Really?
I don't know.
Hang on one sec. I'm gonna try this again. Don't trust mine.
It says it's that column to that column.
I get it. Yeah, mine's 14,484,
Well, then you let us go over budget.
which doesn't make sense.
No.
So for now, I'm taking out the $64 that we took because I'm going to trust my spreadsheet. Who knows? I've been going out and in and out of, and we're going to go down to 13,434. We're just going to make it that way. We're going to take away the extra from Southampton that we just did. I think my computer's been very wonky tonight. And so I put back the $600 for Southampton. I put back the $1,200 for the Ofrenda. The first two grants.
Sorry, we missed the first part of that.
Can we go back to the first two that we made contingent upon being outdoors? Are we making them contingent? I don't think we should.
I don't think we should because it's a long year.
Yeah, I don't think we should make them
Stuff might get
contingent.
pushed back, but it's, you know.
I don't think we should make them contingent. And here's the other thing. We need to get rid of some more money. We need to take away, I don't know why my spreadsheet did this, but we need to get back another $900. So I think that we need to look at what we fully funded. Maybe maybe Mill Pond Live gets 1,500 of their 2,000 because we can't actually fully fund them.
Well, do we give the extra money into the ofrenda, or did we take that back
I
out?
took it back out. I took the $64 out. We don't generally give full funding. We thought we had the money, but if we don't,
You broke off again, Rachel. We can't hear you.
Over.
Can,
We lost you that whole.
Okay, while we'd love to fully fund Mill Pond Live, we need to get back about $900. Somehow we went over.
can I just ask that email? Sorry, Rachel. I just emailed you a screenshot of my spreadsheet, and I think that's accurate. I think we were there. I don't know what's up with your spreadsheet because mine seemed to adjust properly.
Sorry?
Mine seemed to adjust properly as I was changing those figures.
Okay, well, I have a different number than you do.
So can I say that we might have to revisit? But I think the numbers that we agreed to were accurate. So can we agree that if somehow those numbers I gave you were not accurate, then we take them from a combination of Jason's project and Laudable, right? The $900 would come out of those two projects if we were wrong.
Yes, because you
otherwise
still have a different number than I do, and yours might be correct. I'm not sure why
That's what
mine
I'm
is
saying.
doing
I think
this.
mine is correct, and I just sent it to you in an email.
Okay, great.
So if it turns out that it's wrong, then you take those 450 from the two organizations, one be Laudable and the other one be Jason's add-on funds or something like that. So that gets
I
it down.
understand. Okay, does everyone feel okay with this? I can't hear anybody.
Yes.
Yes, they're nodding their head. Yeah, I just wanted us to do all this work just to realize that it was a slight clerical error.
Yes, that's fine. I'm not sure why my computer is being like this. So let's leave it. And because you have it as being under and I have it as being over, right?
Right, and I sent it to you, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. So does everyone feel good about this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. And I think we're good. So now what happens is I'm going to send out the denial letters within 2 weeks. I'm going to send out the denial letters, then we give them 2 weeks for reconsideration. And then we send out the approval letters. So I will have plenty of time to go through the spreadsheet line by line in the morning when it's more clear. All right?
All right.
Good job,
Thank
gang.
you. And then we'll talk about our liaisons. Okay?
Yep.
I will no longer be on, but I will highly suggest that you don't do it as a first come, first served basis, because that benefits the people who have the flexibility to jump on in the middle of the day when you post it, and also benefits you, Rachel, because you put your name in first. So
I'm happy to have people, share preferences. However it is that they'd like to be a liaison to.
yeah.
Happy to do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will send out an email to everyone in the next couple of weeks. Have a great holiday season, everybody.
You too. Thanks.
Happy
Bye-bye.
holidays.
Thanks. Good night.